Wow, that was a rough night. I'm up here next to a road after all. I got my tent set up, but stakes were really almost impossible to drive in, so I ended up in the rain using big rocks to try to tether it down, and so everything in there is wet. This is where I came up. There's the trail right there, the sign, and came up through that valley along that mountainside here on the left. And it rained and stormed off and on for a couple hours. Then that stopped. Then it rained off and on, rain off and on. And then it just quit, so okay. But then there was about a 2 to 3 hour windstorm that was hellacious. It was blowing this tent everywhere. And I don't think the tent frame's bent, but that tent had a rough night. So did I. And I got like no sleep. So a nap today would be good if I can swing that. Alright, here's the trail. By the way, did I mention that I'm not at the top? No. I thought I was at the top. I always think I'm at the top. I still got another 200 feet of climb to go up that. And then 8 miles. It would be nice to get down and, in the woods where it's a little more protected, and the trail isn't this hard shale stuff that so hard to make any time in. But I've got the next 8 miles along the top of the mountain once I get up to the top. So this morning won't be any fun at all. Well, I gotta start dragging all this wet stuff out, and hopefully it'll dry out as the day goes on. Pants are wet. The clothes are all wet. I'll be putting new dry socks on though, and let the other ones dry off at the back of my pack. Alright, just better get to it. Last night was a rough night. Not much sleep. Rain, then that windstorm. Woke up, everything's wet. Of course, it went in the tent wet. All my clothes are soaking wet, and set the tent up in the rain, so while you're doing that, it gets wet inside too. Try to dry things off as best I can with handkerchiefs and wring them out. And this morning, just let things air out a little bit. Not a lot. I don't mind putting stuff away wet. I just shake it out as best I can. And then later today, either at lunchtime or even when I get to camp tonight, I'll let everything air out. Dries out pretty quick. So I got a 1 hour late start this morning. Still got a couple hundred feet till I'm at the summit, of course. Thought somebody just threw something at me. It's a pine cone, just came flying down the hill. Sure. Now the woods is even throwing stuff at me. Just mocking me. Looks like I've got a 8-mile ridge walk today. But since I'm not to the very top yet, basically back in the woods. The pants which have dried out a little bit, are going to get soaked, I think, and the socks and shoes again, because everything's soaking wet. At least it's starting out. Sierra Butte Spring, more water, 100 yards downstream, and a pair of sunglasses. Where's the Sierra Butte stream at? Is it down that way? How's my water? I better go check. I know I got a liter plus, but I gotta see if that'll get me to where I'm going. Well, I've passed 10 people in the last 30 minutes going up that hill. I was wondering why. It's because I'm at the trailhead for the Sierra Buttes Trail. Now I just got to figure out. It gets confusing when you come to roads and trails mix up. It's not obvious where I go. That could be it. See, here's Pacific Crest Trail sign, but then here's one over here, I think. Let me go look at it. Sometimes the emblems are similar. Pacific Crest Trail, okay. And forward and backward. All right, so I'll head down this dirt road. Well, this is a wide trail. I sure could have used this last night. It's a highway. A 4-lane highway, and I got it all to myself. There's very little road walk on the PCT. It's pretty much a remote trail. Every now and then you might have a tiny little chunk of road, and this part is like that. And then here comes somebody and somebody else and somebody else. Looking all fresh-faced, bright, cheery, clean, dry clothes, colorful clothes. Me and my dirt wear. I didn't even wash clothes at the laundry in Sierra City. I was too lazy. I'm sure I took showers, but every time I wanted to buy the laundry, most of the machines didn't work, and the ones that did were busy. So, yeah, well, I'll just go back out with dirty clothes. It was about a third of a mile road walk. Not as many lakes as I used to see, but still lakes to look at every now and then. I think I heard people and maybe a dog bark down there. Here's some vehicles up here. Not as alone as I think. 4th of July weekend's coming up, and I'm starting to see lakes not near me, but down below me, with canoes and boats and floaties and people having a good time. I hear people and dogs, sometimes music. I see a bunch of cars down there. Gee, it looks like they're having fun. Keep walking, Dan. Keep walking. How cool is that? In 8 miles, there's a tree. Yeah. Things are looking up. I could use a tree. It's not yet noon, and the clouds are already starting to build. So that's not a good sign. I need to turn around and look behind me more often. Just a few minutes ago, I taped that little blurb about the clouds are starting to build like these guys. Now I've got thunder right there. So that's back in the area I came from, which got pounded last night. Me too. And they've already got thunderstorms again. Not even noon. Could be a rough day. Hope not. Now what? Where do I go? Summit Lake, Round Lake Trailhead. That looks like a trail, that looks like a trail. Pointing that way. Where's the Pacific Coast Trail? Pacific Crest Trail. This is Gold Lake or Silver Lake. I can't figure out which one. And then over there's a good-sized thunderstorm just rumbling away. Please stay over there. Doesn't look as ominous in front of me. Take that as a good sign. So that sign back there that said a tree in 8 miles. I think it's not a tree, it's a tree. And it turns out it's this spring down in here. And this is some of the coldest water I've come across on the trail. Definitely top 5 coldest water. It's like refrigerator water. And it's a real gem. Well, I would love to have this stuff every day. And of course, you see when you're near a spring, there's just stuff that's growing like crazy. I don't think anybody's using that water. They take it right off the pipe. Big difference tonight and last night, same time. Even from compared to earlier today. We had thunderstorms for 3 or 4 hours starting around before noon. And I had them rumbling nonstop. Never was threatened, just had light rain, but never really was a threat. And here we are this evening after 6-ish. And pretty much, you know, blue skies. Big difference from this time last night where I was entering a very difficult situation. So I'm appreciative and thankful that tonight is nice, at least so far. I'll take it. Almost 8 o'clock on day 93, July 3rd. And difference of night and day between tonight and last night this time. Weather is beautiful, and look at that. I'm in the woods here, and I've got my tent already set up. Got my water, and I'm ready to go get horizontal. 19 miles today. Actually a very good day, considering that I didn't get hardly any sleep last night. I didn't start until 8, which is about an hour plus later than normal, and I crashed for about an hour alongside the trail this afternoon. One of those, I'm just going to shut my eyes things, and then, I guess I dozed off or something. So, I hope for a wonderful night's sleep tonight. That would be great. No bears, please. Let me sleep. Okay, time to call tonight.